With Darkseid dead and the Justice League now the Justice Gods, what now? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This takes place around all of our Justice League God videos. During the video, whenever we announce a God of something, then you can go to that tie-in video to follow their additional adventures. Also keep in mind, this is the middle adventure. There is no resolution. Darkseid is dead. But can a god die? Is it true, Motherbox? Mr. Miracle asks. Yes, Darkseid is dead. Scott, you are free. Shazam hovers nearby. Shouldn't we be worried about the fact the Anti-Monitor has up and left with his army? I mean, he didn't even stick around to gloat. Did I do that? The Flash asks, standing nearby looking at his hands. Mr. Miracle looks at him. No, the Black Racer did, Flash, not you. The Black Racer was Darkseid's ultimate weapon, but it needed to be bound to a host. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing, Mr. Miracle? Because all of the previous hosts are all, I'm not them. I don't want to escape death. I want to control it! Flash, God of Death! Meanwhile, back on Apokolips, Superman is floating near Lex Luthor, completely covered in black and white. Can you hear it, Luthor? I can. Across Apokolips, the mother boxes are telling their slave masters, and the slave masters are telling the slaves. Ding dong, the witch is dead. And he grabs Lex Luthor by the head, and he begins to lift him off the ground. Superman, the cells from those pits are tearing you apart. You need my help before it destroys you. I don't need your help, Luthor. I'm going home. But you aren't going anywhere. He then tears Lex Luthor's suit off of him and he throws him to the ground. Never come back to Earth. Then, Superman, God of Strength, leaves the planet. Lex calls for Superman to wait, but it's too late. He's already left the planet. Over, somewhere else in the multiverse, with Batman and Green Lantern. Batman, the God of Knowledge, informs Green Lantern that the war is over. Darkseid is dead. What about the Anti-Monitor, Bats? He touched the anti-life equation. It turned him into that creature. And now that that is over, I can turn my attention back to what is important. I need to be the Batman that Gotham needs. No, you need to get the hell out of that chair. But as the Green Lantern reaches out for Batman, he feels a shock of pain. Without Darkseid, the parademons are without their leader. They are roaming free out there in the universe, and they have found the brightest light. Oa, go take care of your colleagues. I'll take care of mine. And with that, Batman, the God of Knowledge, leaves for Earth while Hal goes to discover the journey of the God of Light. Back in Apokolips, Lex Luthor is stranded and alone. Well, not alone, as a hook comes flying out of nowhere to capture him. He hits the ground hard, kicking up dirt, mixing it in with his own blood, and a woman in rags walks over with a small army. Stand him up. I am Ardora, the leader of the Forgotten People. Is that supposed to impress me? If you knew us, it would. What do you want with me? Maybe nothing, maybe everything. The Blind Prophet has written that on the night of Darkseid's death, a human would walk through the ashes of Apokolips and everything would change. It is written that this human is a great hero from a place called Metropolis, and he has saved that world many times, and he will bring us hope. Are you this man? Lex Luthor wipes the blood from his mouth and looks up to her. Yes, I am. And then, she hits him with lightning! Meanwhile, back with the rest of the League, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Power Ring, and Shazam. Shazam suddenly screams out in pain. The new gods are calling to you! And he rockets into the sky. Shazam, God of Gods! With Shazam and Flash gone, Cyborg asks Wonder Woman what they should do next, but they are interrupted by Darkseid's children. Do not worry about them. Father is dead and so are you! Back with Lex Luthor, he wakes up attached to a bunch of machines with the ceiling opening up. They explain that if he is truly the hero that he claims, his test is now, as the Omega Effect returns to the planet. It hits Lex Luthor with the full force of the Omega Effect, and he begins to feel this new power entering his body, and he declares, Darkseid is dead. Long live Lex Luthor, God of Apokolips! Back on Earth, Wonder Woman lunges into battle with the children of Darkseid, and while she's clashing with the biggest of the brutes, Power Ring and Cyborg take on the smaller of them, and then Mr. Miracle tackles Kanto, the leader of the children. Luckily, Big Barda shows up and stabs Kanto through the throat, causing a massive explosion. Steve Trevor asks who she is, and Mr. Miracle explains, yeah, that's my wife, as she leaps in to help Wonder Woman. Mr. Miracle asks why she's here, and she explains to end this. They were supposed to be on their honeymoon, but he clarifies, no one can know we're together if Granny and the Furies find out, but Barda stops him and gives him a passionate kiss, which makes even Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor uncomfortable. Barda then asks Darkseid's children why they fight. Darkseid is dead. and they state that while he is dead, they live on, and they will do this for him, for Calabec! And once they finish here, they will find the Anti-Monitor and finish him as well. Back on the Rock of Eternity, Metron, the new god that the Justice League left there chained up, has freed himself and he's wandering through the halls. Without his chair of knowledge, which Batman took, he can't get out of this mystical place. And as he walks through, the woman in the mirror, someone who speaks to Billy Batson, sees him and asks him if he traded the safety of the universe for his own soul. Because if Mobius, also known as the Anti-Monitor, gets his chair back, the universe is doomed. He smashes the mirror, demanding quiet. Over with Wonder Woman, she explains her plan. She is guessing that the crime syndicate from Earth 3 might know what is going on. Superwoman, Ultraman, and Owlman have been on this Earth ever since they attempted to invade and defeated the Justice League, only to be defeated by Lex Luthor. This was an event known as Forever Evil, but Wonder Woman thinks that they may know what the Anti-Monitor is doing because they fled their world as he destroyed it. Steve Trevor explains that this is a problem though, because the remaining members of the crime syndicate are being held by Argus as level 0 inmates. No one, not even the Justice League, can see them. Mr. Miracle stops him right there. He can get Wonder Woman and the remaining members of the League into the secure location. So Wonder Woman decides that since they can't even reach the Justice League, she'll go get them herself. So they jump through Cyborg's boom tube, and Steve Trevor asks Diana why she's worried. He's never seen her worried, and she explains that because an Amazon started all of this. An Amazon that she has never seen, nor has she even heard of. One that carried Darkseid's baby, and used it to start this war. This caused the League to split apart and turn into gods. She doesn't worry often, but she also doesn't get cold often, and today she is both. And that's when Superman, the god of strength, appears behind them and lifts Steve Trevor up. Am I interrupting? Meanwhile, Batman, the god of knowledge, is looking for the Joker. Just as the Anti-Monitor finishes whatever he's doing with an explosion, the Flash is trying to outrun death. As the ball of power leaves the Anti-Monitor, Shazam is coping with his new powers. Once the ball grows closer to Grail, the daughter of the Amazon Diana spoke of, Green Lantern is getting closer to Gotham to save Batman from himself. Back at Grail, she reaches out for the ball. The anti-life equation! Lex Luthor is accepting his role as the god of apocalypse. And as all of this is happening, Grail becomes the goddess of the anti-life. Next up, Darkseid War Act 3. Things are really heating up, and we will continue to bring you the tie-ins and stories related to this. But if you are lost, which you probably are if you just joined us this week, click now for the Darkseid War playlist and learn everything. All must be uncovered.